my name is Javier Romo. In this video, I'm explaining why Troy Maxon's life in August Winston's fences is a tragic one, even though Joseph Wessling argues that Troy's story can be seen as hopeful when viewed across generations. I argue that Troy's personal life is tragic. It's tragic because he repeats the pain he grew up with. He destroys his marriage and dies isolated from his family. On to the next slide. Troy Maxon's tragedy. Here's my thesis statement. You could say, saying in the intro, how Troy's life is tragic. This is my main argument. Troy's life is a tragic one for three main reasons, I believe. He repeats the pain he experienced as a child. He damages his marriage with Rose. He dies alone, separated from the people he loves. And that's heartbreaking. And that, I would say, that also is like a light bulb for people. That means like this person's going through a lot. Even though he caused a lot, he still himself is going through a lot. On to the next slide. Repeating trauma. The first reason Troy's life is tragic is that he repeats the trauma he faced as a child. In Act 1 in the play, Corey wants to play football, but Troy shuts him down, saying the white man ain't gonna let you get nowhere with it. This isn't wisdom. It's Troy's old pain about racism in his mind and when he wanted to play baseball. Instead of healing, he pushes the pain onto the next generation, which is his son, Corey. That's tragic because Corey experienced the same hurt that Troy felt from his own father, which ties to these three bullet points I provided. Corey's dreams being shut down. Troy projects his own pain onto Corey. Passes trauma instead of breaking it. And that really ties into one of my main reasons. And as you can see, I provided an image of projecting that. On to the next slide. Broken marriage. The second reason Troy's life is tragic is the damage he caused to Rose. In Act 2, after Troy reveals his affair, Rose says, "You take and you don't even know nobody's giving." She carried the emotional weight of their marriage alone. Later, she tells Troy, "You're a womanless man," showing that he loses the person who loved him the most. Wesleyan says Troy provided for his family, but providing isn't enough when the emotional foundation collapses. These three bullet points show what's going on in these images. Cheating breaks the family up, of course, as what Troy did. Rose's emotional labor. I feel like Rose was a strong character in the play and was mainly holding the house together because she was the positivity in everybody's life, I would say. And Troy was always so negative, yet he would always find that positivity in Rose. And then later, once he does the unthinkable, he ends up losing the person he loves most. On to the next slide. Dying alone. The last reason Troy's life is tragic is that he dies alone. In Act 3, Corey says, "I can't drag Papa with me no more," showing how far Troy pushed his son away. Before he dies, Troy is distant from Rose, Corey, Lyons, and even Gabe. While the play ends with hope for the next generation, Troy never experiences it himself. His life ends quietly, with the relationships broken and unresolved. These three bullet points lead also to my main reason. Corey refuses his funeral at first, of course, because he's cut ties with his dad. Distance from Rose, Lyons, and Gabe. he sort of distances himself from Gabe. He still holds himself accountable from it, but then at the end of the day, he was still distanced from himself. And as you can see, provided in this image, that there's a man sitting on a chair, staring at the tree. In the shadow of the tree, that's blinding the sun from the man. And I feel like this projects a lot into this reason. Wesley's view versus my view. Wesley argues that Troy's life is a successful story because the next generation improves. That's true. But Corey and Ronald grow and the family moves forward, but that growth happens after Troy is gone. Troy never gets to enjoy the healing or hope his family finds. That's why his personal story remains tragic, even if the bigger picture is so hopeful. As you can see, I provided 2 images of the hope across generations and Troy's personal tragedy, which is a man alone. In conclusion, Troy's Maxon's life is tragic because he repeats trauma, breaks the trust in his marriage, and dies without the love and connection he once had. The play gives hope at the end, but that hope belongs to Corey and Renell, not to Troy. His life is a warning about what happens when pain isn't healed, and fences are built around the heart. As you can see, I put Troy's life equals tragedy, next generation equals hope, and this image provides how one broken piece of the fence, but yet there's still other pieces there to surround it. And that's all from my video. Thank you for watching.